And in this beginner's guitar lesson, I'm going to show you how to play Bm7. So let's dive into this first version of the Bm7. The first thing we're going to do is put on the A minor chord like this. Okay, now what we're going to do is move that up 2 frets. And remember, if you say up, you're going this way. So we're going up 2 frets, 1, 2. So we are now on the 3rd fret. So our first finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string. Our second finger is on the 4th fret of the D string. The 3rd finger is on the 4th fret of the G string. And now we're going to put this little finger here on the 5th fret of the top E string. And with all new chords, always check that the strings ring out, okay? So you should have something like this. Sounding pretty good. And you won't be playing the low E string or the A string. So what you can try and do, if you can, is wrap your thumb around so that it is lightly touching those 2 strings to mute them so they're not sounding like so. And then you can comfortably strum knowing that you're not having these strings ringing out. Let's try a short chord progression using Bm7. And we're going to play a bar of G, a bar of A minor, then comes the Bm7 for a bar, and then finally a D chord, and then we can repeat this as many times as we like. And now remember, when you're going from the A minor to the Bm7, you're just going to slide it up 2 frets. Okay, you're coming up like this, and then like that. And you know, if you get this kind of squeaky sound when you're going up, that's fine, don't worry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's have a look now at the second version. And for the second version of the Bm7, if you know your B7, then this is going to be a bit of a breeze. So here's the B7 chord shape, and you can also see that in the diagram there. Now to play Bm7, all you're going to do is take off the first finger. Just take it off like this. And that's it. That's Bm7. So what you're left with is your second finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and your little finger there, the 4th finger, on the 2nd fret of the top E string. So all of those fingers are on the 2nd fret. And when you do play this chord, the 6th string, the low string, is dampened, okay? So you're going to use your thumb again to stop that string sounding. You know, it's quite common that you might find your 2nd finger just touching and muting or buzzing, which I think is even worse, the D string. So be careful there, make sure you're nicely arched. Make sure all these fingers are nicely arched so all of those strings are ringing out clearly. So let's try a little chord progression, different one from the first one. We're going to play D, Bm7, E minor, and then A. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not sure how to play the B7 chord or the A minor chord, check the links in the description for some lessons for those. Let's have a look at the other fingering for the B7 chord. So with the first version I showed you this chord using the second finger, third finger and the fourth finger. Now all we're going to do is change everything. So instead of being 2, 3 and 4, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Like so. When I was learning, this was probably 3 months into my guitar learning journey, and all the other chords I'd been learning were up here, you know, in the open position. And to get to play a chord on the 3rd fret with no open strings and having to be really careful about avoiding those strings, you know, made me feel like I was moving in the right direction. And not only was it because it was a nice chord up the fretboard, but it also gave me the opportunity to start working on different rhythm styles. Rather than just going, I could now do something like that, which is getting a bit more interesting. And yeah, it's one of my first kind of real favourite chords. So why don't you give those 2 chord progressions a practice, and you know, try using both versions of the B7. So for example, in that first one where I went G, A minor, B minor at the 3rd fret, try it with G, A minor and the other version of the B7 chord. And the same again with the other chord progression where I had D, B7 here. Try it with D, B7 on the 3rd fret. So try changing it around a little bit. The other thing you can try is, instead of playing A minor or E minor, you could play A7 as well, or E7. And if you're not sure how to play those 2 chords, then give this playlist a try here and get cracking on those. Thanks for watching. Happy strumming.